All right. Good morning, all of you. And let us begin today's session. Now, in today's class, I'm going to cover a new topic before we migrate to the next topic that is called as regular expressions and pattern matching. Now, this pattern matching and regular expressions actually, they basically go hand in hand. And we have already discussed about pattern matching in the last class in terms of some of the characters that play a very vital role in the pattern matching, right? To start off with, we discussed question mark, which was basically for one single character. Then we had star, which stands for multiple characters, that is series of characters. And then we also have seen square bracket, where we can put range of characters, right? So a couple of pattern matching stuffs we have seen in the previous session. And in continuation of that, we have another subtopic that is called as regular expressions, right? So just make a note of few points and then we will see how basically regular expression works in Unix operating system with the help of certain commands. Okay, so just make a note. Regular expression is a powerful tool that is used to specify patterns of text. Is a powerful tool that is used to specify patterns of text. The pattern is constructed. The pattern is constructed by using series of characters and special characters representing character sets, anchors, and modifiers. The pattern is constructed by using series of characters and special characters representing character sets, anchors, and modifiers. Right. So what exactly you mean by character set is, we already seen character set in the previous session. These are the characters which basically retain their literal meaning. Okay. So the simplest type of any regular expression that we can use in the world of Unix, it only consists of a character set with no meta characters, right? Because you know that Unix shell provides various meta characters which have special meaning, correct, in the world of Unix. So that is what we call it as character set. Then the next one, which is a part of this regular expression, is what is called as anchors, right? Now, these anchors are something that plays a vital role in your pattern matching or regular expression, right? They designate the position in the line of text that the regular expression can be matched, right? For example, a simple anchor in Unix, one is called as caret, that is beginning of the line, and second one is called as dollar, which is end of the line. I repeat, anchors, they position the line of the text that actually your regular expression should match, right? Now, for example, there are two anchors. One is called as caret, C-A-R-A-T, which actually stands for beginning of the line. And the second one is actually called as dollar, which stands for end of the line. Okay, so we will definitely discuss this with the help of example, which should make you more clear. The third component in this regular expression is what is called as modifiers. Okay, modifiers. Now, basically what happens is you already seen a modifier in the previous session, right? These modifiers are those who expand the range of the text. They modify actually the range of the text that your regular expression should actually match. And these modifiers, they actually include your star operator, which you have already seen the other day, that is series of characters, which is also a meta character. Then you have also seen brackets, that is pair of opening and closing brackets where you can specify the characters, right? And you also have seen something called as backslash, right? So apart from star, square bracket, you also have seen slash. Now these three are actually called as modifiers. So bottom line is, just keep in mind that any regular expression, right, will always contain these things, right? And not necessary that it should contain all these three. It purely depends upon your application, right? So what are those three things? First one is character set, right, which have their own literal meaning. And you know that regular expression consists only of a character set without any meta character. That is one thing. Second point is anchors, which designate the position in the line of text that your regular expression should actually match. So line number 9 and 10 will show you two anchors. One is caret, that is beginning of the line, and second one is dollar, which is actually the end of the line. Now, apart from that, the third component of regular expression is modifiers, which is there in line number 13. Now, these actually expand, we also call it as modify, the range of the text that your regular expression should actually match. And some of the modifiers are star, and then you have pair of opening and closing square bracket, and then you have slash, right? So keeping this in mind, we will proceed with what is called as finding patterns in the file. That is called as pattern matching. Just make a note of it. It is called as pattern matching. Just make a note. It basically allows you to match. It basically allows you to match a particular pattern in a file. Particular pattern in a file. Okay. Now this entire world of pattern matching is constituted with the help of three commands. The first one is called as grep, which stands for globally find regular expression and print. The first command is grep, which stands for globally find regular expression and print. It is also termed as general regular expression parser. Globally find regular expression and print. It is also called as general regular expression parser, right? So that is one of the family of commands in pattern matching. Second one is egrep, which stands for extended grep. The second command is egrep, which stands for extended grep. And the third one is called as fgrep, which stands for fixed grep. Extended grep, which stands for fixed grep. Okay, so in simple terms, if I want to tell you about grep, which actually stands for globally find regular expression and print. It is a small family of commands that actually search your input file for a string. We call it as for a pattern string, and it will print the entire line which matches that particular pattern. Of course, you will get it more clear when we do examples, but understand why grep is considered to be the most powerful utility in the world of Unix, right? It is made up of three separate commands, as I have told you earlier: grep, egrep, and fgrep, right? And all these three commands of grep works in a similar fashion with a small change in the syntax. Otherwise, they all basically land up finding the regular expression. And if the pattern matching is successful, you will get the output on your standard output device, right? So if you look at the flow chart that I had sent you, okay, just go through the flow chart, right? So whenever you issue a grep command, it will check whether there are some lines in your file. Either it can be, see, the input to the grep command can always come from a file, or it can come from the piping mechanism, right? That means what? The output of a command can be fed as input to the grep command. Please understand, right? So the grep command can take input in two ways, either from the file, or it can take it from the output generated by some other command in the form of piping mechanism. So that is what the first hexagonal box in the flowchart tells, that if you have more number of lines in the input, correct? If there are no lines, then automatically the grep command will get terminated and you will stop the entire process. But on the other hand, suppose if you have some more lines in your file, then what happens is this particular lines are copied into the pattern space, right? Now the beauty of this is it happens so fast that we are unable to understand exactly the mechanism which happens inside, right? So each and every line of your input is actually copied to the pattern space. And once that line is copied to the so-called pattern space, right, operating system will apply the regular expression on that. Okay, so the regular expression purely depends upon what you people as a programmer are giving, right? So of course we'll just have a look at the example. So if that regular expression matches with the line that is there in the pattern space, then that particular line is sent as an output on your standard output device, right? And once it sends the output on your standard output device, it will again switch back its control to the file and check whether there are some more lines. And if there are some more lines, the process gets repeated, okay, till it encounters the end of the file. But on the other hand, if the after applying the regular expression, if there is no pattern matching, then the output will not go to the standard output device because Alain illa actually. There's nothing there to go to the standard output device. So what happens is if there is no pattern matching, the control will again come back to the file to check for whether you have any more lines. And then again the process gets completed, right? So this is how basically the grep command or family of the grep command works in Unix operating system. Okay. So just take down some facts about grep and then we will go ahead with the examples which will make you more clear. These are facts about grep. The first fact is grep is a search utility. Grep is a search utility. It can search only for the existence of a line. It can search only for the existence of the line that matches a regular expression. Okay, so grep is a search utility. It can search only for the existence of a line that matches a regular expression. That means what? The grep command will not search anywhere else outside the domain that is fixed for it, right? It will search for any line that is a part of your input for any regular expression that you give, right? It will not cross your boundary, right? Next, second one, only action that grep can perform on a line, only action that grep can perform on a line is to send it to standard output device. Okay, so that is the only thing that grep can do. Once it finds the pattern, right? Once the pattern matching is successful, the entire line is displayed on your standard output device. Okay, but on the other hand, this is also equally important. If the line does not match, if the line does not match, what it does not match? The regular expression, right? So if the line does not match the regular expression, right? What happens? Nothing is printed. Okay, so just be careful. It won't give you any error message also, right? So if regular expression is matched, you will see the output on your screen. If it is not matched, you will not get anything on your screen. Okay, so sometimes what happens, you just give a regular expression and the whole file cannot be matched with the regular expression. The operating system will just return you $prompt, right? So we'll have a look at it, don't worry. Okay, so that is the second point. Third point, the line selection. The line selection is based on regular expression, or you can be more specific, is based only on regular expression, right? Line number or any other criteria, line number or any other criteria cannot be used to select the lines. Okay. So that's the third point. Line selection is based only on regular expression, right? The line number or any other criteria cannot be used. That means what? Say for example, you have a database file, right? You can just recollect our database file of class 5A, where we had name of an employee and company of an employee, something like that. Now, if I want to display only those people who are working in Infosys, right? My regular expression will be Infosys. So my Infosys basically acts as a pattern matching. Okay, and that pattern matching, which is a string, pattern string, will be done throughout the file. Okay, right from line number 1 to line number n, where n is the last line. So it is purely based on regular expression, right? So line number or any other criteria cannot be used to select the lines directly from the file, right? So if at all you want to search within few set of lines, then you have to build a piping mechanism for that. And the last important fact about grep is a filter. It's a filter program or a filter command. That means what? It can be used. It can be used on either side of the pipeline symbol. Right? That is very important fact of grep. It is a filter program or a filter command which can be used on either side of the pipeline symbol. Okay, so these are facts about the grep, right? Commonly asked question in Unix interviews. Now, apart from that, there is one more, what is called as limitations of grep. Limitations of grep. So as a programmer, you should know what are the limitations of grep. First one, grep cannot be used to add, delete, or change the line. That's the first limitation of grep. You cannot use grep to add, delete, or change the line, right? It's just a pattern matching tool. And grep cannot be used to print only part of line. That is what actually makes grep command more powerful, right? As I told you earlier, if any pattern is matched in your input file, the grep command will output the entire line, right? So the second limitation is grep cannot be used to print only part of the line, right? It will print the entire line whether you're interested or not. On similar grounds, the third limitation of grep is grep cannot read only part of file. Okay, grep itself as itself cannot read only part of the file. And the fourth one, very important, is grep cannot select line based on the contents of the previous or next line. Okay, so that's the fourth limitation. And the last limitation, the grep cannot select line based on the contents of the previous or the next line. That means what? There is only one buffer and it holds only the current line. Okay, it holds only the current line. So this is a little bit of theoretical information on regular expression, right? A family of regular expression which is with the help of grep command, right? Which stands for globally find regular expression and print. Okay, so now let us discuss this, how exactly the grep command works in the world of Unix operating system. So let us look at the syntax of the grep command. Make a note of the syntax. You have grep, you have options, you have pattern, and you have file name. So this is a simple syntax of grep. It takes three parameters. The first parameter is options, the second parameter is pattern, and the third parameter is file name. Okay. Now, in this, options is optional, right? That means what? Whether you want to give options or not, it is not mandatory, right? So you can issue a grep command without options. You can issue a grep command with option. That totally left up to the programmer and your task or application. But pattern and file name is important component, right? So in that case, suppose if somebody misses out the option or do not use option, then let me show you the syntax of grep. If you miss the option, your grep syntax looks like this: grep followed by pattern followed by file name, right? But definitely you will use options because it is required to carry out the task in most of the applications, right? So that is the syntax of the grep command. Now let us directly jump into example. Okay, so let us come back to the examples because the command is too good. So let us say, let us have our database file, right? So just make a note of the question. For next couple of examples, the file that we are going to refer is going to be the database file that we have created during our previous session. Okay, so take on the first question. Display details of all employees who are working in Infosys. That's the first question. Display details of all employees who are working in Infosys. Right? So what I'll do, I'll just say grep Infosys class underscore 5A. Understand? Right? So the question is display details of all employees who work in Infosys. Now this is a command that I have given. Let me tell you the significance of this command. Grep, grep, that is your command. Infosys is your pattern. Now please understand, if option is not given, the very next term that comes after the grep command will be treated as a pattern. That is because your options will always start with minus symbol, right? So here I am ignoring the options and I am directly giving the pattern. So in this case, Infosys will be considered as a pattern and class 5A will be considered as a file, right? So what your grep command does is it will search for a pattern Infosys in all the lines of your file class 5A. Okay, understand carefully. This particular command will search for a pattern called as Infosys in all the lines of your file class 5A. Of course, professionally speaking, you don't need to tell all the lines. You just say it will search for a pattern called as Infosys in file class 5A. Got it? So that is what your flowchart says, right? So apply the regular expression, that is your Infosys match, right? And if there is a match, now look at line number 1. In entire line number 1, whose employee code is E001 Chandanashri till 85,000, do you encounter the word Infosys? Let me make a small change. Okay, because it is case sensitive operating system. So I will just say Infosys, right? So in line number 1, do you find Infosys? You find Infosys. Now it is immaterial where you find Infosys, understand? It can be at the beginning of the line, it can be at the end of the line, it does not matter for Unix. It should appear in a particular line. So what happens when you look at closely to your flow chart, there is a match. So that particular line, that is line number 1, whose employee code is E001, will be copied onto your standard output device. And then it will go for next line because it is not end of the file, correct? We are still in line number 1. So ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it will go to line number 2, pattern is not there, line number 3, pattern is there. So in line number 2, when pattern is not there, nothing will happen with respect to standard output. The control will again go back to the file, there's the third line, and then it finds the pattern, it sends it to the standard output device. Then line number 4, pattern is not there, line number 5, pattern is not there, right? So in short, if I have this particular command given, the interpretation of this command is this grep command will display all those lines where it finds the pattern Infosys in file class 5A, right? Let us see the output. Okay, so these are the two lines you know very well that Infosys is present. So Infosys basically acts as a pattern here. Please understand, Infosys acts as a pattern. Now we'll just try to do the same thing what I did a little bit earlier. I just gave the entire pattern in capital letters. If I do like this, I will not get anything. So that is what I said in the beginning, right? If the line does not match the regular expression, right? That is what we have seen in the facts about the grep, right? What did I say? I said that if the line does not match the regular expression, it will not be printed, right? And then you see, you get directly the dollar prompt. Okay, so the successful return of the dollar prompt indicates that there is no pattern called as Infosys, which is in capital letters, in a file called as class 5A, right? Because you know there is a difference between this Infosys and this Infosys because Unix is a case sensitive operating system. Okay. Now how to deal that? I'll come back after some time. Don't worry about it. We can still deal it. I'll let you know after some time. Okay. So this is a simple example of how grep works in the world of Unix, right? So let me give one more example. Grep, I'll say brand, I'll say Germany class 5A. Okay, so it will display whose, can you tell me whose details it will display? Just mention me the name of the employee in the chat box. grep Germany class 5A. Mention the name of the employees it will display. I know it displays the entire line, so I don't want you to write the entire line. Just give me name athwa beda. You can give me the code of the employee. Code or name, it's okay, left up to you, no issues. Okay, good. I don't know, some of you have written only E001, right? You have forgotten me. I am also there in Germany only, right? Along with Chandan Shri, but some of them have written E001 and E003. Okay, so that is correct. So what does grep Germany class 5A do? The grep command will search for the pattern called as Germany in the file called as class 5A. Okay, so that is how the basically the grep command works. See, by chance if I give like this also, right, nothing will be displayed because as you know it is a case sensitive. So lowercase g is not there in the entire database file followed by ERMANY. Okay, now what out the beauty of this? I'll just say grep int class 5A. Okay, grep int class 5A, correct? Will I get the output or no? All right, that's the correct answer. You will get the details of E005, right? Now look at this, that in E005, the name of the company is Intel, and I have given the pattern as INT, right? So it does not matter for grep as long as, right, the capital INT is continuous. Now that is very important for Unix, right? What is there prior to I and what is there after capital T has got no significance as long as it encounters capital INT continuously, right? Let us take one more example. What I'll do is I'll remove this N and I'll give IT, right? Now tell me what is the output. Correct. Okay, fine. It is dollar prompt because you don't encounter a pattern called as capital IT in the entire database file. Okay, so you get the dollar prompt. Okay, all right. Okay. What is the output of this command? grep infosys intel class underscore 5A. Now let me press enter key. Anybody would like to comment on this output? See here the first line. It says no such file or directory. That means what? Intel is considered as a file. Please understand, right? So the interpretation of this command, that is grep Infosys Intel class 5A, what happens here is Infosys is considered as a pattern, Intel is considered as a file name, class 5A is also considered as a pattern. I'm sorry, the file. That means what I'm trying to say to Unix is, please search for a pattern called as Infosys in files, Intel and class 5A and then display. Andre, we are trying to search for a pattern Infosys in multiple files, right? Here two files, Intel and class 5A, right? So please be aware of the syntax. grep followed by pattern followed by file name. So one day pattern you can give in grep command. Rest anything you give after the pattern will be considered as a file name. Okay. Suppose if there are two words, right, like Intel and class 5A, but they are separated by a blank space. That means Intel will be considered as a first file, then class 5A will be considered as a second file. Okay, let us have more clarity on this. What I'll do is I will copy this class 5A to class 5A temp ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, class 5A temp. And then what I do, I will issue this command. So here I will say Infosys class 5A and then I will say class 5A. Okay, so I'm giving now like this. Now what does this do? This will search for a pattern called as Infosys in two files. The first file is class 5A and the second file is class 5A temp, right? And then if the pattern is found, it will display on your standard output device. But then you are trying to search Infosys in two files. Now, when you are trying to search for a pattern in multiple files, right? Please listen carefully what I'm saying. When you are trying to search for a pattern in multiple files, then operating system will display the names of the files also where it encounters the pattern. Nodi, illi it is giving class 5A. That means in class 5A, you will find the pattern Infosys. So once it is here, and then another one it is here, but then it also finds the pattern Infosys is in another file called as class 5A temp, right? So illi, it will display the file name also. Okay, so please be careful. Unix will display the file names provided you are trying to search the pattern in multiple files. Okay, so be careful. You are trying to search for the pattern in multiple files. Let me give you one more example. We have so many files in ls. Again, Madana, it's okay. I will issue the command like this: grep Infosys star. Right? We have seen star, which is nothing but a meta character. Correct? We have seen star, which is nothing but a meta character. So what it does, it will search. So be careful. When you say grep Infosys star, it will search for a pattern called as Infosys in all the files of your PWD. Okay, so be careful. It will search for a pattern called as Infosys in all the files of your PWD, right? And then you see the output. Okay, in class 5A it is there, 5A temp it is there, right? But if you look at these files, correct, downloads in blue color, desktop and then documents, they are all directory files which do not have a pattern called as Infosys, and hence your OS tells desktop is a directory, downloads documents is a directory. In employee firm also it is there Infosys, correct? And these are all the directories. Got it? So this is how it gives the output, where star acts as a meta character, right? So all these wildcards or meta characters can also be used as a part of your regular expressions. Okay, so let us discuss something with respect to one or two options, and then I'll give you a small break. NL class. Okay, I have two. So I will remove this class 5A. So I have this. So now what I'll do is I'll introduce you the first option of grep command, that is called as -i. Just make a note of it. -i, which stands for ignore the case. -i stands for ignore the case, and then I will give Infosys and I will say class 5A. Okay. Now just -i Infosys. Okay, now you watch out carefully. In the previous case, I gave pattern in uppercase, right? I did not get any output because there is no uppercase Infosys. But now what I'm doing is I'm associating an option called as -i, which stands for ignore the case, right? And then you print Infosys. Search for a pattern called as Infosys, right? -i stands for ignore the case, right? So the interpretation of this, watch out carefully, the interpretation of this will be search for a pattern called as Infosys irrespective of the case. It can be lowercase or uppercase, and print it. Watch out carefully, right? So -i stands for ignore the case. Okay, there is a question in the chat box. What should we do to match two consecutive words like software engineer, right? You have to enclose it in a pair of opening and closing double quotes, or you can also use another family of command called as extended grep or fgrep, right? So that is how you can get allows you to match the two consecutive words, right? We will see that also in over a period of time. Let me look at this now. Suppose if I give Amit space Jane class 5A. Okay, look at this and answer in the chat box. Grep Amit space Jane class 5A. Correct? Jane is considered as a 5. True or false? Jane, Jain, this one is considered as a 5. True or false? True. Okay. Now let me enter. Of course, I will get Jane as no such file or directory. So let me put okay. Watch out carefully. So if there are two words, right, and you want both the words to be considered as a pattern, then you please enclose it in a pair of opening and closing double quotes. Now watch out carefully. Here, Jane was considered as a file name and Amit was considered as a pattern. But because of the fact that you have given that entire word Amit Jane in a pair of opening and closing double quotes, the entire word, two words, Amit and Jane, will be considered as a pattern, and it will search for that particular pattern in a file called as class 5A, and hence you get this particular output. Take down next option, grep -v. Next option is -v. V stands for verbose. Just make a note. V stands for verbose. 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 Grep -v. Okay. Take down the explanation. Displays all lines. -v means displays all lines which do not contain the pattern. So that's the answer. -v displays all lines which do not contain, or that do not contain the pattern, right? Now watch out carefully. Don't take down. If I just say Infosys class 5A, what it does? it will display all lines where Infosys is a pattern. But now I'm going to add an option for that called as -v, and then I will say Infosys. That means what? It will display all lines where Infosys is not found. Correct? Watch out carefully. These are the three lines where Infosys is not found, right? Because one is Infotech, one is Amazon, and one is Intel. So -v means verbose, which tells that display all those lines where pattern is not found. In simple terms, display all those lines where pattern is not found. Right? You can also use combination of options in grep as well. You can say -vi and then you can say Infosys. Okay. Again, it will give you the same answer. So the options of grep command can also be clubbed and used. -vi. So you can say -vi. You can also say -iv. Right? The order does not matter. In any order you can give.